Welcome everyone to another Monday night at the Beat. This is our third in a series of 4 on missing links in tango. Can anyone summarize what the essence of the missing link was that we're trying to work on here? There were patterns, okay, but besides the patterns, what's the concept, conceptual idea?
Communication.
Wow, who said that? That was really good. Communication is the most important thing, or else you're miserable, you're crying, you have no idea why the teachers are trying to get you to do all these things. I've had it happen in the past. Okay? Now, from a pattern stand of view or from a technique standpoint of view, what was the first thing we tried to enable as leaders the followers to do? Close long steps.
Walk around us.
Yes.
The short steps.
Long steps. You're making short steps. Yeah. So the followers you're trying to enable them to make the longest steps they can around you. Okay. What are some secrets for that, leaders? To create the space, how do you enable that?
Cross your leg and get your foot out
Yes.
of the way.
Turn your body just a little bit and your head a little too, makes them feel more connected.
Cross your leg backwards.
Cross especially your right leg, opens the hip. Yes. What about the embrace?
Don't close it. No hand. Keep it a little open.
Keep it stable.
Yeah, or very little arm.
And followers, what are a couple of things that we can do to create that long step close and around our leader? Yeah, like maybe sometimes pivot on your right foot, so when you step on your left, it's really around them versus away from them. And then the second thing, what analogy did we use?
You're
Yes,
stalking.
there's this feeling of as if we're stalking them, we're sneaking around them. Yeah?
And again, my embrace does shift a little bit. She's not directly in front of me. And it's more so when I try it on the more difficult side, the open side of the embrace.
And when we are comfortable followers in this particular pattern, what can we do?
What's the reward?
Kicky things.
Yes. we can do a gentle tap, yeah? It doesn't have to be both feet. Yeah, if one side is easier, for example, my right foot to his left foot, then stay with that. If you can pull off both feet, then that's great. Yeah? All right.
Okay. And ideally, there's always some kind of communication going on. So where is the communication going on here? What part of Christina's body with what part of my body?
Her back with your arm.
Yeah, her back with my forearm in this case. I mean, of course, she's holding in different places, and you could say there's different spots, and maybe there are different ways to do this, but I found the easiest way to enable the longest, most around step is to give my partner space and let her back connect more with my forearm.
So followers, it's like I'm trying to really push my back towards his right arm. And it's really more about staying longer on my standing leg and making my body stay on that standing leg as I'm reaching with my working leg. And that helps keep my back against his arm.
And that is different from pushing too much with the back hand. It's a different concept, Jack. Okay?
Yeah.
So opening the embrace to give her space, but then letting her put pressure on your back to form the communication. Different from andele, vamos. Different kind of language. Right. And then communicating 2 ways when we're walking, which translates to also sacadas. What are the 2 different ways?
Feeling opposition.
Resistance.
This is specifically, let's specifically talk when the follower is walking forward. Okay? She can either, maybe especially in close embrace, she can push into me and I push into her.
But I'm still arriving carefully. I'm not falling into my step.
That's one way, and it's legitimate. It works. But if you require a little more space, what's another way to communicate?
So again,
To fill one another's arms in the back.
Yeah.
I'm resisting a little bit, but I'm not planking back. Yeah, it's my whole core. And again, it's that idea of staying longer on my standing leg, pushing into the floor, and having my body on top of that standing leg for as long as I can, as I'm projecting my working leg.
Leaders, do you have control over this?
Over, yeah, absolutely.
You
Over
enable.
Bea said the right thing. The most control we have is that we can enable it or not. Like, we can hold them tight the whole time and try to do everything, which they have almost no choice at that point except for to try to do what they want to do. Or if we want to create the other way where we have a little more space, I can let go and give them, try to see if they'll fill that space and hang back a little and give me a little more resistance when they're walking forward, but that resistance would be backwards for them. So,
Followers, whatever technique you choose, whether you keep pushing into them when you walk forward or you provide a little bit of resistance, try to be clear and consistent about it. Don't change from one to the other, especially when you're dancing with the same leader. Yeah? We want to give them a calibration point so they can adjust necessarily.
and we have found through a lot of experience that doing followers sacadas here work best when Christina's giving this technique where she's hanging back a little in the opposition. Just creates more space. It helps enable the communication. So we're going to do a little demo. I want to do one more.